Hi everyone, this is Norjehanie Mangondaya, and for my report today, I'll be discussing questionnaires as a common data collection method in second language research, as well as specific example called a grid-based scheme. So this discussion is based on the book and also a continuation part of our report. Now, let's start with the advantages of using questionnaires. One of the main advantages of using questionnaires is that they are economical and practical compared to individual interviews. This means they can collect a large amount of information in a shorter period of time with less effort and fewer resources. In addition, questionnaires can elicit comparable information from many respondents at once. So, this helps researchers look for patterns or similarities among different participants. Questionnaires are also very flexible. They can be administered in various ways through email, by phone, through mail in forms, or in person. This flexibility allows researchers to gather data in whatever format best suits their participants and situation. Depending on how they are structured, questionnaires can provide both qualitative insights, such as opinions and attitudes, and quantitative data, which can be measured and analyzed statistically. Because of this, they can be used in a wide range of research contexts. So, according to Dornier and Caesar in 2012, it is also important to know how to properly design and analyze surveys to ensure that the data collected are meaningful and accurate. However, questionnaires also have some limitations. One common problem is that responses may be inaccurate or incomplete. This can happen when participants find it difficult to describe their personal feelings or perceptions, especially if the questionnaire is written in their second language. A lower level of language proficiency might limit their ability to express their true thoughts. Because of this, questionnaires don't always provide a complete picture of the complexities of individual situations. For example, participants might give a short or simplified answers instead of fully explaining their ideas, especially in open-ended questions. To address this, researchers should, whenever possible, administer the questionnaire in a participant's native language, give participants enough time to respond, and offer an oral option for those with limited literacy skills. This ensures that all participants can express themselves comfortably. Another concern is that data gathered from questionnaires can sometimes be influenced by the questionnaires itself. For example, in discourse completion questionnaires, participants are only describing how they think they would act in a certain situation, but this might not match how they would actually behave in real life. So researchers must interpret the results carefully. Now, to maximize the effectiveness of questionnaire, researchers should use a simple and uncluttered format, write clear questions, have the questionnaire reviewed by other researchers, and of course, pilot test it with a small representative group before using it widely. So, this ensures that the questionnaire is easy to understand and produces reliable results. Now, let's move on to a more customized type of questionnaire, the grid-based scheme. A grid-based scheme is a more in-depth procedure where a researcher creates a grid after analyzing a completed questionnaire or conducting an interview with a participant. The grid is designed to show the participants' ideas and also to uncover deeper patterns or relationships in their responses. For example, Breen and colleagues in 2001 used grids to study teachers' classroom principles and practices. Before the second interview, the researcher made a grid to each teacher, listing the teacher's classroom practices on a vertical axis and their reasons for doing them on a horizontal axis. During the interview, the researcher and the teacher reviewed the grid together and discussed how each action might relate to each reason. This method helped to visualize and analyze the teacher's thinking more deeply. Now, in the book, if you will see it, we see a sample grid called Kate's grid. Across the top row, we have the teacher's reason for actions like quieter students should have a chance to speak, and students should do things they enjoy, and students' contribution help build confidence, and so on. And on the left side, we have teachers' classroom actions like reviewing previous lessons, encouraging spontaneous suggestions, getting students to highlight words, and more. So each box in the grid is given a number. 1 means a strong relationship. 2 means weak relationship. And then 3 means no relationship between an action and a reason. This kind of grid helps researchers clearly see how a teacher's belief connect to what they actually do in the classroom. Now, in summary, tools are for second language research. Of course, we have questionnaires, practical tool for collecting large data sets, flexible, awareness of limitations, must mitigate issues like incomplete answers and potential bias. And then grid-based schemes, detailed, structured analysis to connect beliefs and actions for deeper understanding. And basically, design matters talaga. Now here's visualizing the research process. Firstly is data collection, then uncover patterns, and then initial analysis, then grid creation, and then deep discussion. Now finally, to summarize everything, of course, questionnaires are one of the most practical tools for collecting large amounts of data. They are flexible, can be used in many forms, and can gather both qualitative and quantitative information. However, researchers need to be aware of their limitations, such as incomplete answers and potential bias. So finally, grid-based schemes provide a more detailed and structured way to analyze the connections between beliefs and actions, offering a deeper understanding of research participants. Now, thank you for listening. And if you have a questions, you can ask me or Sir Jerick. Thanks. Bye.